Bonjour, mon ami. I've been playing catch up. Je suis le poète Angleterre Joey Maguire, coming out of the Bar du Commerce, Vertiac, Dordogne of France. I'm about to recite my latest poem. I've been playing catch up today, and they'll all be sometime today. They'll all be on YouTube, where I have a massive site, and eventually they'll end up on my website, which is even bigger. Anyway, the latest poem is a dream, a repetitive dream that I have. It's called Breaking Cover. Breaking Cover. In the fantasy of dream, I found myself lost, wandering aimlessly in an eerie wooded thicket, my surroundings as unfamiliar as the surface of the moon above, which, as it happened, was shining full, its opaque light guiding me amidst the flickering shadows towards the nightmare at the fulcrum of my dream. Black and white replaced by technicolor, walking blind, hackles raised, adrenaline high, I had that Hitchcock feeling of being both stalked and watched, and alone and vulnerable, my pace quickened to an almost trot towards the light ahead, presumably the exit and the beginning of the open plains. Amidst the eerie shadows, from the corners of my eyes, I detected movement, and in that instant, the full horror of my situation became apparent as I caught sight of a pride of murderous eyes that had by then encircled me, slowly closing in for what was obviously their kill. In heart-stopping panic, I climbed the nearest tree with frantic desperation, reached its highest, thinnest branch, tied myself waist to branch with belt to hang there terrified, the pride below, prowling, snarling, growling, and looking up at their prospective meal. Days passed as they waited, the heat dehydrated, hunger and irrelevance as I drifted in and out of consciousness, accepting, preparing myself for death, though worried to the extreme as to the specific graphics of such happenings. I woke suddenly, suspended in the half-light of dawn, to find the pride had gone. Panic demanded that I run, but fear saw to it. I hung there for another 2 long days, fear being the most emotive leveler I had ever faced or known. On touching ground, I made quickly towards the clearing of the open pasture, determined in my resolve, and it was to my relief, though breathless and with heart pounding, I reached my objective, only to realize that far from being safe, I had landed myself in grave danger by breaking cover, leaping from frying pan to fire, drawn towards the light that was acting like a lure, and there they were before me, waiting impatiently, more ravenous and hungrier than ever. In my haste, my desperate bid for safety, I had plunged into a pit of hell, and although I had battled bravely against the fear and darkness that was the wooded thicket, I had failed. I was, to put it bluntly, alas, in layman's terms, far from being out of the fucking woods. Joey John Maguire, on a recurring dream.